are both of you doing today?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I just want to say thank you first for giving me my life with some of my favorite TV shows. Just thank you for that.
No, thank
Good
you.
news because of you. So I appreciate the both of you.
Thank you
very
I
much.
love your background.
I wanted to be a part of the friendship too. But it's something about the power of friendship that is something that it makes me gravitate to these type of series. And I wanted to know for the both of you, who is that circle of friends that really helps you through the dark and fun times that led you to this moment of How I Met Your Father?
No, I love that question. Well, yeah, it's a great question. I mean, Isaac and I met in college. We went to NYU together, and we then became roommates senior year in a little apartment in the East Village with a third roommate. And we had that circle of friends that, kind of you go through all your crazy adventures with in your 20s, and you stay up late and you talk all night. So I think we brought a lot of that to this group. I also am lucky enough to, have a very close knit of girlfriends from growing up in Queens that we still have our text chain going. So I think all of that and that feeling of these people, you love them as much as you love their family and your family, and you lean on them so heavily. We brought to this friend group because we agree. We just love watching a friend group that feels like the one that you have in your heart and that you have in your phone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm part of that same friend group. I'll say what was so cool about this cast and seeing them all come together and get to know each other is they became a version of that friend group off screen too. This was a group of actors who were all totally new to multicam, as experienced as they all are. They had never done this kind of a show before. And they were really, really freaked out and excited and nervous and anxious. And all they had to lean on was each other. So I think that really cemented them very early on as a group of friends, being like, did I do that right? Was that funny? Was that good? What are we doing here? Let's go out for drinks after and talk about it. And I think that support and that closeness really translates to what you see on screen.
Now, I want to know, for taking on this series, you're already pros at what you do, but were there any fears that you had, especially since, How I Met Your Mother has such a huge fan base that everyone fell in love with? What were the challenges that you really wanted to overcome before going into How I Met Your Father?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think when you take on a show and that there's already this tremendous following for the other one and people that have intense, passionate feelings for that show, obviously it's sort of an extra layer of pressure that you wouldn't have if you were just sort of going into a series that stood completely on its own. We were excited to take on that challenge. We were fans of the original, and as we've discussed, fans of this world of sort of friendship shows and dating in New York City specifically shows. So we were really excited about it. And, the other thing that was new to us was doing a multicam, which we had never done before. So that was a challenge too. And something that, as much television as we've made this very new for us. But again, exciting challenge, and one that made us want to lean in as opposed to run in the other direction.
But also, too, one of the things that I love that this series has is really that familial bond that you have with some of the characters, about how some of your not blood chosen family, but really how that can lead to some interesting dynamics, when you reunite as an adult. And I wanted you to speak a little bit about the importance of including that in the series.
In terms of Jesse and Ellen. Yeah, I mean, I think we have a really interesting, unique sibling relationship that we touch on in the pilot, but we really begin to explore deeper in the series, about a brother and a sister who were raised separately for most of their childhoods and are sort of reconnecting and finding their footing as adults in New York. And what does that look like? What is the brotherly, sisterly dynamic that you create when you don't have all of those years of memories and shared experiences to draw on? And I think it's a really, really specific one that has some incredibly sweet moments from Chris and Tien.
No, it definitely did. I was in my feelings when I watched the episode. It was why am I emotional right now? But look, I wanted to thank the both of you so much for taking the time to speak with me. It means so much to me. I'm just sending love and light your way, and I really hope that you have an amazing day.
Thank you so much for taking the time. You're lovely.
Thank you. Bye.